Hello everyone, my name is Neha, and in this lecture tutorial I'm going to show you how to analyze the data using LabVIEW. We are going to take one example of analyzing the data which includes doing calculation like standard deviation calculation, mean calculation, median calculation, calculation of the variance. So those kind of calculation we'll be doing in this tutorial. And I have a data set already made, so you can do the same. You can make the data set, or if you have any data set already available, you can use that. So I have this data set here, and I will be reading this data set and will be doing a calculation for calculating the mean and standard deviation, variance, and median for this particular data set. So the first thing which I'll start with is using the read. So for that I will right click and I'll go to file input output. So I will go to this read delimited spreadsheet. So click here, and then so let's first let's for this particular project, let's analyze the first row. And this is the read, this is used to read the data, and we are going to, instead of using all the rows, let's maybe pick this time first row. So right click there on the first row. I'm gonna repeat this step again. So you see this first row, right click here and then create on the create indicator. So you have this first row over here. Okay, and then the same thing you can see over here, but this does not has any data because we haven't read the data yet. And one more thing I want to remind you, that in case if you get confused, you don't understand these blocks, just use the context help, and then that will let you know what are these different parameters are. Okay, so we use first row instead of all row. You can use all row and you can determine the result. So we just use first row, and the next thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to use some math function. So I'll right click and I'll go to this array. First I'm going to see what maximum value and what minimum value I have in a row. So to find that, I'll have to select this block under the array. So go to the programming and then array, and then further down here you will see this maximum minimum. So we're gonna use this. So you put this over here, and then we need two numerical constant on which we want to represent the data. So I'm gonna use it here on the control numeric. You can use it here as well. Go to the numeric, and then you can use numeric constant also. So you can use that, but maybe let's for this particular case I'm gonna use from here as a numeric indicator, because we don't want constant, we want the indicator. So let's use this and then create one more numeric indicator. Okay, so we have these two over here, and one of them is gonna show the value for maximum value and minimum value. So let's this be maximum value, and then change the font size to 1, and for this one also to 1. Okay, everything is 1. Okay, that's great. So change this one as well to minimum value, and that's what you see over here. The same thing, we're gonna connect these. So look for which one is maximum value. We are not looking for index, we are we'll just want to connect to the maximum value. So click here, and then again see this one is for minimum value, so click here and then connect them together. So one represents your maximum value and the other one represents your minimum value. And then no signal is going into this array, but we want to have something going in here. So we're gonna add this. This is going to be our signal, so I'm gonna attach it to this signal because we are using this. We're gonna put the value here, and that's our input. Okay, so that's going in here, and that will tell me for first row, it's gonna tell me what is the maximum value in the first row and the minimum value in the first row. The second piece which we are going to include into this block diagram is statistics. We will be using standard deviation, variance, median, all those calculation we'll be doing. So for that you need to go, you just right click and then go to mathematics, and then under that so standard deviation, variance, mean, all that stuff you can find it under probability and statistics. So if you go under here, you will see all of these things different. I lost it. Okay, found it. Now we have here different, all these blocks which can be used to determine these values. For example, mean, measure of mean, standard deviation, SD is for standard deviation, and variance. Skewness and kurtosis, this is a kind of particular method in maths, in probability you use. We're not gonna get in detail of this, or not even all of them, because there are so many. And these probabilities like ANOVA, these are different types of methods you use to find the difference between the two datas. So stuff like that, all of these has its own purpose. So but in our case we're gonna use statistics, so we'll just click on the statistics, and then the statistics, as you put the statistics block onto the block diagram, this particular dialog box will pop up, and then in this you can select arithmetic mean, median, standard deviation, variance, that's what we want, and then press OK. So you press OK, and all of these things you see, and we're gonna reduce the size to maybe this, a little bit larger. Okay, all right, I think this is fine. Okay, so if you see this takes up our data, this signal, and then arithmetic mean, standard deviation, variance, and median. This will tell you what the result is. So this is pretty simple. We're going to connect this to the signal because that's our signal we are taking, but then we want to represent these, whatever the answers we are getting through these different points or methods, or I would say values we want in the statistics. We have to represent through some numerical value. So for that we will go here, and then we have used this indicator. Let's maybe use this one for arithmetic mean, so maybe just use mean. Okay, and then Control C, Control V, okay, so we have this over here, and then we need one more, so go here, another one. So this one we want for standard deviation, so let's just use short form standard deviation, and then we need one more for variance, and then we need a last one for finding out the mean. median. All right, so we have all four of these together over here, and then we're gonna put this as well over here, and then standard deviation is our second, so let's put here, and then change to 1, this as well. So I changed the font size and then try to put them together. So arithmetic mean should show in this one, standard deviation result must be shown in this one, and then variance we want should be displayed. This should be displayed in this one, and our last one, the medium, should be displayed in this one. So this, we don't want to connect the results, so we're going to use it separate. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so we have this here. Now what we have to do, we have to put the data, read the data. So I'm going to run this. First I'm going to save this as my basic statistics project. Okay, so saving this. Now I'm going to run this. So when you run, it will ask for which data you wanna read. So I'm going to select exam score, and then it will read the first row. As you can see over here, I'm gonna extend this. So you see we have first row here 77, 93, 87, 92. We can also see through this data exam score, we have 77, 93, 87, 92. So just imagine if you want to see just only this one. For all the data, it's pretty simple. You just go on to this all rows. So if you, okay, it's not showing right now, but if you go to this all row, click here, and then you can use like whole data, and then you can represent your whole rows. But what if so right now it's just showing first row. What if you want to see this first column? So what are you gonna do? So for that, you can use transpose feature in transpose terminal over here, and then in that case it's going to show you the column. So let's, and that you're going to do by using a Boolean expression called true and false. So you go to the right click under the programming, go to the Boolean, and under that you have constant. So pick this true constant and put it here, and then connect this true to the transpose terminal. So clicking here to the transpose terminal. Now what will happen? You will have the row, instead of the first row, it's going to show the first column. And one thing to note here, based on the first row, you have all these values. You have 0 as minimum, because you can see that that's what you had, and then 93 is the maximum, that's your maximum value, and then these are the mean, standard deviation, variance, and median for this particular row. Now let's see what will happen if we run this, because now we have transposed the row, and so we're going to have the column now. So let's run this, and it's gonna ask for the data. So we're gonna feed the data, and then you can see that now we have, I'm gonna extend this. Let's maybe see what we have here. So so it's already it is full. This is our first row. Yeah, that's our first row. And you can extend this also by clicking here, and then you can extend. So let's check 77, 91, 85, 97, 83, 85, 92, 55, 83. That's our first row. And then you can see how all these values have changed after running it for the first time. So we just run it for one time because we don't want to feed the data again and again. So we just run it one time, and then you see the maximum value is 97. So look for the maximum value. Yes, 97 is the maximum value. Minimum value is 55. So yes, we have 55 as our minimum value, and then these are mean. This is the mean for this particular particular column, which is shown in the form of a row, and then says standard deviation, and this is variance, and this is median. So that's how you do the you can do the calculation for mean if you want to find out the mean, standard deviation, all these things. And you can also use other math function in the probability. For example, if you want to find out the RMS value, or if you want to do any hypothesis test, for example t-test, these rank tests and all these, you can use these block diagrams. So there's so much to explore in this, and it's so useful that you can do different calculation using these block diagrams and these blocks. So this is the end of the lecture. Thank you so much for watching.